Post-training notice. National First Class Registered Exorcist. Chapter 20. Whoever started things should end them. At the construction site, the towering crane was covered with black water monkeys. Xiaoduo stood at the end of the crane's arm, with nearly 50 meters of empty space below his feet. A heavy gale blew, and lightning flashed past him from time to time. Xiaoduo couldn't help shaking. He looked at Yang Xingji and said in a trembling voice, "What do you want to do? I want you to remember matters from the past." Yang Xingji's face was dripping with putrid black water, and slowly, he said, "I heard that people's lives flash before their eyes like a running horse lantern before they die, so maybe you'll remember me in this way." "You are?" Xiaoduo looked at Yang Xingji's blind eye and said, I remember now, you are that Yaoguai in the sea caves." "I'm called Chiwen." Yang Xingji said, "I'm not some Yaoguai. Have you heard of the 9 sons of the dragons before?" "I'm the 9th. Yes, you're called Chiwen." Xiaoduo tried to calm down. "You are the dragon's youngest son, but why were you in that sea cave, your body?" "What I saw that day." Yang Xingji stood 5 meters opposite Xiaoduo. The faint outline of the Chiwen swirled around the top of his head. Its huge head poked out of the dark clouds and let out an earth-shaking roar at Xiaoduo. The moment it opened its mouth, half of the cracked, black tongue appeared. Have you become a human?" Xiaoduo asked. "Human?" Yang Xingji started laughing, and then his laughter grew loud and crazy. "Do you think I'm human?" Xiaoduo finally calmed down and thought to himself, "You laugh ba. Villains in movies always die because they talk too much." Later, Xiang Cheng, dressed in golden armor, stepping on colorful auspicious clouds, will come to save me. I need to learn from heroines in movies. Drag things out? Wait for help. Asterisk. Xiang Cheng climbed out of the river and onto the shore, and he laid on the stone steps as he coughed up a mouthful of blood. Chiwen picked him up. The van stopped by the side of the road. Elder Chu got out and they worked together to take Xiang Cheng onto the car. Alert. Director Lu pressed the WeChat call button and said into his cell phone, alerting everyone in Team 1, Team 2, and Team 3 that the situation at the Pearl River Bridge is out of control. Everyone needs to urgently assemble. "Sorry," Xiang Cheng said. Everyone was soaked and Director Li asked, Xiangna, why do you always drop the ball at the critical moment?" Xiang Cheng was at a loss to reply. He rubbed his thumb against the center of his eyebrows and said, "Nanzhou North Road, go to Nanzhou North Road. They are at a construction site there." Director Lu sent a WeChat message to make everyone gather urgently. Asterisk. At the construction site, the rainstorm was getting heavier and heavier. I swallowed one of your people's discarded trash cans and was poisoned. As time went on, the poison grew deeper. Yang Xingji said, I left where I lived and came to the south to find my father. On the way, I was hit by the propeller of a ship. My entire body was covered in wounds, but before I could die from that, I was washed into the sea cave by the tide. Do you think I still had the strength to become a human? You are a devil. As soon as Xiaoduo calmed down, he quickly sorted through the sequence of events and asked, did you recover from your injuries later? Yang Xingji said coldly, I waited for you in the sea cave for 49 days and nights. From start to finish, I believed in your promise to me, and I waited for you to come back and save me. You were the last human I believed in, but you didn't keep your promise to me, Xiaoduo. In that hole, Yang Xingji said, I died. This is your sin. I saved your life, but you didn't keep your promise to me. Xiaoduo's eyes went wide, and his entire body trembled uncontrollably. That entire time, you... Xiaoduo said while shivering. I was bitterly waiting that entire time. Yang Xingji said faintly, waiting for a 7-year-old child to think of a way to come back and save me. Even if he couldn't do it and I knew you couldn't do it, even if you just came back, as long as you came back to see me, I could believe that death wasn't terrifying. I thought, I saved a human child before I died. Yang Xingji said coldly, I don't know why I saved you, maybe it was because I was lonely and longing for a little warmth, but such a small creature, he would definitely come back and save me. At least, he would come back and see me. But you didn't come back. The black smoke around Yang Xingji grew thicker, and Zhi Xiaoduo's tears rolled around in his eyes. I'm sorry. Zhi Xiaoduo remembered now. That night, when he returned to shore, his grandmother found him and slapped him. Zhi Xiaoduo had told his grandmother and his neighbors, but no one had believed him and thought he had been possessed. The next day, due to being caught in the rain and suffering the cold in the sea cave, Zhi Xiaoduo broke out in a high fever. I developed a high fever when I went back. Zhi Xiaoduo sniffled and said, then, it became complicated and turned into pneumonia. I was coughing all the time, so my grandmother took me to Guangzhou for an examination. There was pus in my lungs and I only got better after lying sick in bed for a month. Later, I went to live in my uncle's house, studied in Guangzhou, and only returned to Zhuhai 10 years later. You got better. Yang Xingji said, you got your life back. You've experienced a taste of a body decaying away now, isn't it full of despair? Slowly rotting away, all thanks to you human beings. I'm sorry. Zhi Xiaoduo shook his head slowly. Thank you. It was my wrong. I left a mark on your body just to find you. Unexpectedly, there were people lurking around you, trying to draw me out. I waited for 4 years. After you returned to Guangzhou, I waited for 4 whole years. After approaching you, I gave you 3 chances to live. I asked you 3 times but you never even thought of me. Yang Xingji sneered, whether I'm a Yao or a human, you wouldn't even look me in the eye. No. Zhi Xiaoduo said, I really forgot that memory. I've been confused this entire time. Don't do this, Xingji. No, Chiwen, what's the meaning of becoming a devil? If you are tortured by pain into becoming a devil, you will only be trapped in pain. Yang Xingji, there are too many Yao and gods like me in the rivers, lakes, and seas. Countless of them have died under the hands of you people. Now, all of you will repay me. With your lives, Ba Yang Xingji roared. A black light shot straight into the sky, and the heavens and earth shook. Zhi Xiaoduo shouted out and hugged the crane under his feet. He closed his eyes tightly and began to play his last words automatically in his heart. Suddenly, a hole burst through the dark clouds and dazzling stars twinkled from within. Then, thousands of golden incantations began to revolve around the hole. From the tops of the surrounding buildings, it seemed that hundreds of lights of varying intensity were shooting into the sky. The storm was swept away, the circle of incantations tightened, and the true body of the Chiwen struggled fiercely in the air. Yang Xingji roared and Zhi Xiaoduo felt a powerful wave. Xiang Chen was using all his might to rush towards the tower crane. Under the onslaught of golden beams shooting everywhere up and down and side to side, the water monkeys along the crane let out plaintive whines and dissipated. Yang Xingji exploded into black gas with a bang as he circled around the tower crane and roared while rushing towards Xiang Chen. Xiang Chen looked up, met Zhi Xiaoduo's eyes from more than 10 meters away, and made a gesture. Zhi Xiaoduo immediately knew what he meant: run. Zhi Xiaoduo trembled as he got up and ran along the tower crane. It was nothing more than a steel skeleton, and if he didn't pay attention, he would step into empty space and be smashed into pieces on the ground. When the black smoke got close, Xiang Chen let out a big yell and shook the demon-subduing staff into a silver disc. Yang Xingji slammed viciously into him and he flew out upside down and shot into an unfinished building. Zhi Xiaoduo miraculously unleashed the pinnacle of human potential and didn't take one wrong step. He ran all the way down the arm and came to the end. When he was about to get off the platform between the tower crane and the construction elevator, the black water monkeys underneath rose up and overturned the platform. Zhi Xiaoduo came to a sudden halt and the black smoke gathered together on the roof as Yang Xingjia's body appeared. Then he shouted wildly and rapidly shot at Zhi Xiaoduo. Jump! Xiang Cheng roared and also rushed towards Zhi Xiaoduo. Zhi Xiaoduo took a few steps to run up and leaped into the air, jumping towards the 13th floor. Xiang Cheng also leaped out of the platform on the 13th floor. The two slammed into each other in midair and hugged each other. Xiang Cheng Zhi Xiaoduo threw himself into Xiang Cheng's arms and was carried on by Xiang Cheng's momentum. They again flew in a slant towards the 12th floor of the tower crane. Xiang Cheng fell on the iron railing, and Zhi Xiaoduo fell on Xiang Cheng, the two of them both grunting. Zhi Xiaoduo was so worked up that he burst out sobbing and couldn't help letting out yells with Xiang Cheng in his arms. Xiang Cheng backed away using his arm, hugging Zhi Xiaoduo with one hand while shaking out the demon-subduing staff with the other. Countless water monkeys came in from all directions, and Xiang Cheng dragged Zhi Xiaoduo with him, staggering to the ladder and climbing to the top. Amidst the torrential rain and endless sky, the scenery around the tower crane revolved under their feet. The Chiwen gave a deathbed roar over their heads, and more water monkeys appeared under their feet. Yang Xingjia walked along the tower crane and stood in front of the platform. "Don't be afraid." Xiang Cheng only said these 3 words. Yang Xingjia dissolved into black gas. In the split second he shot towards Xiang Cheng, a brilliant light burst forth from Xiang Cheng's entire body. In a trance, Zhi Xiaoduo saw Xiang Cheng and Yang Xingjia forcefully crash into each other. It seemed as if 2 huge monsters were roaring at each other. He was in Xiang Cheng's arms, so he couldn't see what monster he had turned into but saw the shape of the devil Yang Xingjia had turned into. As Chiwen with unfurled pitch-black wings and blood-red eyes. The black giant bird overturned them onto the ground, and Xiang Cheng's demon-subduing staff glowed strongly. "Capture it!" Zhi Xiaoduo cried. "Devils can't be captured." Xiang Cheng, holding the demon-subduing staff, tried his best to smash it at the center of the vortex of devil chi and roared, "The mountains and seas shine, all devils disperse." The demon-subduing staff fought up against the howling black storm and burst into a dazzling brilliance. The black smoke around was drawn in and curled back. With the sound of something collapsing, it rolled them all up into the devil's realm. The world was quiet, with only the sound of the sea tide rushing away, as it had for thousands of years. Zhi Xiaoduo was surprised to find that he had become smaller. Xiang Cheng held him in one hand and lifted the demon-subduing staff in the other. The two of them stood on the beach. Little Zhi Xiaoduo. He looked around and then looked up at Xiang Cheng's face. "This is its devil realm." Xiang Cheng looked around and replied, "Where is this Chiwen hiding? Take me there, we have to destroy it." The tide ebbed and flowed, there were fine raindrops floating between heaven and earth, pattering away. Zhi Xiaoduo asked, "Can you not kill it? It's long been dead." Xiang Cheng said, "What we have entered now is just its devil realm, its obsession of many years. We must calm its obsession before we can exorcise it." Zhi Xiaoduo said, "Put me down." "Xiang Cheng, you let go first." Zhi Xiaoduo said to put him down, but he still held onto Xiang Cheng's neck. The two of them looked each other in the eye for a moment, then Xiang Cheng suddenly said, "You were so cute when you were a child. You've seen it before?" Exactly what was going on here. Zhi Xiaoduo came down, took Xiang Cheng's hand, told him the whole story, and asked sadly, "What are you going to do after seeing it? Whoever started things should end them." Xiang Cheng replied, "Go and have a look at it first, Ba." Zhi Xiaoduo struggled to find the path between the reefs. The years had blurred his memory, but finally, by the seat of his pants, he found the original sea cave. The rain stopped, and a bright moon rose from the horizon beyond the sea. In an instant, the sea was covered with silver brilliance, flashing for thousands of miles. Moonlight shone into the hole, the Chiwen raised its head with difficulty, and its unblinded eye blinked. I'm sorry. The 7-year-old Xiaoduo, with red eyes, stood barefoot at the mouth of the cave and said, I didn't find someone to save you. They didn't believe me and it was my fault. A muffled sound came from the Chiwen's chest and abdomen, just like the last breath of an asthmatic person before they died. It struggled to prop its body up with its injured claws and stumbled and crawled towards Xiaoduo. The whole cave was trembling. Be careful. Xiang Cheng wanted to use the demon-subduing staff but Xiaoduo quickly stepped forward. The Chiwen sobbed. It opened its mouth sorrowfully and helplessly as tears fell from its eyes, and it let out a long wail that shook the world. Tiny little Xiaoduo held the front end of its head, closed his eyes and sniffled. His tears fell on its face, the green blood at the mouth of the Chiwen gradually spreading out. Xiaoduo stuck his face against the Chiwen's head and quietly hugged it, his tears falling along the Chiwen's decaying scales. Its whole body emitted black gas, and the sea cave dissolved into black smoke. It's all right, Xiaoduo. When the black smoke dissipated, a real Chiwen appeared. It was a small divine beast glowing with green light, wings on its back, a fish tail, and a dragon's head. A lonely male voice said, back then, I also just wanted to have a friend with me when I died, so at least I wouldn't be so lonely. As the black gas dispersed, the Chiwen's body finally dissolved into spots of light and disappeared. A green mote of light lingered, flew to Xiaoduo and disappeared into his pupil. In an instant, the stars rotated and the scene of the sea cave disintegrated. Yang Xingji knelt at the end of the tower crane, shouting madly towards the sky, a jet of black light shooting towards the heavens. The golden amulets all headed towards the center and burst out in cobweb-like lightning, illuminating the entire Guangzhou night. That night, everyone saw a strong light covering the whole city from the sky. Blazing thunder world purifying sacred flame. The Chiwen's entire body was run through by one blow of the blazing thunder world purifying sacred flame, and it suddenly dissolved into powder. The thunder and lightning all across the sky merged into one and directly slammed downwards. Yang Xingji took the brunt of it and fell down. The electricity was split by the tower crane, crazily running helter-skelter, but it avoided the 3 people above. Then the whole tower crane, including the black water monkeys around the building, was purified by the wrath of the heavens. Xiang Cheng and Xiaoduo held each other tightly. In the midst of the dazzling lightning, they already couldn't see where the sky or ground was. The tower crane collapsed instantaneously, and the momentum from that turned into a hurricane, throwing the 2 of them out. Thunder drowned out Xiaoduo's screams. They flew straight out at an altitude of 50 meters in the air. Xiang Cheng grabbed and jerked at Xiaoduo's wrist, and their eyes met. Xiang Cheng's mouth moved, and he said something. He seemed to be teasing Xiaoduo and then laughed. The sound came to Xiaoduo from far away, and the strap on Xiang Cheng's duffel bag broke, letting out a mess of magical weapons. What? Xiaoduo cried. As soon as the thunder stopped, Xiang Cheng shouted, umbrella. The 2 were in mid-air, and as Xiaoduo stretched out his hand to grasp the umbrella, Xiang Cheng's big hand came up and covered Xiaoduo's palm. The black broken umbrella opened with a pala, and like a dandelion, it carried them flying away. Xiaoduo. In the midst of the palala roaring rain, Xiaoduo hugged Xiang Cheng's neck. Xiang Cheng flew in the wind with the umbrella in one hand. Outside the construction site, the van closed its door and drove away. The magical lights went out in all the neighboring buildings and the exorcists went downstairs one after another. Xiaoduo looked up, and a rib of the rusty black umbrella poked out. It's too old. Xiang Cheng said, it's not easy to control, and it tends to drift to the right. Xiaoduo laughed loudly, his whole person hanging onto Xiang Cheng's back like a monkey. His feet clamped around Xiang Cheng's waist. Xiaoduo leaned happily against the side of his neck. I knew you would come and save me. Xiaoduo's voice faded away. N. End chapter. Post-training notice. National First Class Registered Exorcist. Chapter 21. Aftermath. This night was filled with wild winds and stormy rain, but after he returned home, everything was as per usual. Xiang Cheng closed the window and he didn't go out the entire night again. Instead, he kept Zhi Ziaduo company. Zhi Ziaduo's entire body relaxed, and he laid on the bed, feeling as if everything had been a dream. Last night's nervousness, in addition to the exhaustion from only getting a few hours of sleep today, caused him to fall asleep very quickly. When he opened his eyes again, it was a bright and sunny morning. In the living room, Xiang Cheng was wearing an apron, his torso bare as he made breakfast. Last night, the Guangzhou region experienced its heaviest thunderstorm in 40 years. Meteorologists observed a rare weather phenomenon in the Zhuhai district. Yawning, Zhi Ziaduo came out in his pajamas, standing in front of the TV to watch the program. He noticed that on the coffee table, there was an ashtray filled with cigarette butts. Due to the pumping motion of the atmospheric pressure, a hole appeared in the vortical rain clouds, an expert said to the news anchor. What we saw was a very pretty scene. The lightning gathered up here, just like a radioactive spider web. Zhi Ziaduo's face was expressionless as he thought, this cleanup is really on point. It's even being featured on the news. Zhi Ziaduo refreshed his Weibo. Many of the discussions there revolved around the topic of the fierce waves on the Zhejiang Bridge last night, and the raging storm that swept over the city like the apocalypse had come. There were even people saying that last night, there must have been some great saint or immortal undergoing a heavenly tribulation or something like that. You're awake? Xiang Cheng asked from the kitchen. N. Zhi Ziaduo yawned again. He then remembered work, yelped and said, damn it! I'm going to be late. Xiang Cheng replied, your office called, I asked for time off for you. Thank goodness, thank goodness. Zhi Ziaduo sat down to eat. Xiang Cheng had made 2 bowls of congee cooked with lean meat. The congee had been simmered by hand on the stove, and it was accompanied by eggs fried to a tender golden yellow, as well as stewed shrimp and soft, light tofu, which would be eaten dipped in soy sauce. Xiang Cheng had also prepared a plate of peanuts and jasmine rice and he placed it on the dining table. Si Gui flew over, landing on the table, eating with the 2 of them. Zhi Ziaduo kept mulling things over internally. He still remembered everything from yesterday very clearly, so when were they going to wipe his memory? Would Xiang Cheng take him to go sniff the snuff box? Are you in a bad mood? Xiang Cheng asked. I'm not, Zhi Ziaduo replied while smiling. He stirred the congee with his spoon. Xiang Cheng didn't say anything and the 2 of them finished breakfast quietly. Xiang Cheng then said, thanks for your hard work, let's go out for a stroll today. I suddenly want to take a trip home, Zhi Ziaduo said. To that sea karst cave? The organization has already sent people, Xiang Cheng said. They gave me a call this morning. Zhi Ziaduo said, who knows if the Chiwen's bones are still inside? Normally when Yao Gui die, they won't leave behind any special traces, Xiang Cheng said. They will set themselves alight. Plus, the Chiwen turned into a devil after it died and went ashore, so there shouldn't be anything left in the karst caves anymore. When Zhi Ziaduo thought of Yang Xingjia, he still felt a little sad. He let out a sigh and said, if I had held out on that day, perhaps everything would have been different. Xiang Cheng shook his head and said, even if you brought people to help cure it back then, the Chiwen would not have been able to be cured. At most, there would be another piece of news that they found some misshapen monster affected by the pollution of the sea, and in the end, the organization would take action and wipe it from the records. Would the organization have killed it? Zhi Ziaduo asked. Xiang Cheng nodded, looked into Zhi Ziaduo's eyes and said, Ziaduo, listen to me. Zhi Ziaduo. When Zhi Ziaduo thought of the Chiwen, that monster that had, when he was a child, treated him as a friend. He only felt that maybe he wouldn't be able to make up for this mistake for his entire life. Humans and Yaoguai cannot be together, Xiang Cheng said. Us and them, the only goal that we can all work towards is to live separately and not influence each other. This is not your fault. I also hope that one day, there will be no more Yao that will harm people. Otherwise, if you interact with Yao for a long time, your body will be corrupted by the Yao Qi and you will age quickly, or other problems will arise. The Chiwen, before it was corrupted, also knew this. Zhi Xiaoduo replied. Xiang Cheng reached a hand out along the table, saying, think about something happy. Forget it, Ba. Zhi Xiaoduo mustered up a smile, and he asked, when will you take away my memory? Xiang Cheng. Zhi Xiaoduo continued, it's okay. Let me sniff the snuff bottle and I won't remember the matter of the Chiwen either. Life happens just like this. As soon as we get serious, we lose, isn't that right? Xiang Cheng said, I do not wish for you to forget all of this. Zhi Xiaoduo. I will ask the organization to reconsider, Xiang Cheng said. I'll try to not have them do this. Zhi Xiaoduo, is that possible? Xiang Cheng replied, I'll do my best. Oh yeah, let me tell you something happy. Someone wants to see you. After we're done eating, can you come with me to see a friend? Who? It's a secret for now. Zhi Xiaoduo ed. It was the junction of spring and summer. The sunlight was brilliant as Xiang Cheng lazily pedaled the bike. Along with Zhi Xiaoduo, they passed over the Zhejiang Bridge. The surface of the river was very calm and light reflected off the water. The first storm of the summer had caused the rows upon rows of camphor trees along the pedestrian paths to grow dense thickets of light green. Zhi Xiaoduo said, we should buy a car. Go get your driving license, Ba. After my money is unfrozen, Xiang Cheng said. It's soon, next month. Then I'll drive and take you out to play. Zhi Xiaoduo was waiting to get his certificate, and as soon as he got it and hung it up in Wang Ren's firm, he could take the money and go everywhere. I'll gift you a car. Zhi Xiaoduo lifted his head slightly, pressing it against Xiang Cheng's face, asking, can you take me out to play, then? You're not going to work anymore? Xiang Cheng asked, a little surprised. It's such a good job. I've been wanting to quit work for a long time, Zhi Xiaoduo said. For life to be 2 points on a line, going home, going to work, going home, going to work, who knows what you're really doing? Then what do you want to do? Xiang Cheng asked. Zhi Xiaoduo didn't respond. He was thinking, of course I'll cling onto you and spend my days with you. But of course, he couldn't just say that. After thinking for a while, he could only reply with, I want to go capture Yao with you, is that alright? Xiang Cheng. Internally, Zhi Xiaoduo punched himself, he was about to cry. Inside, he angrily roared, Zhi Xiaoduo, is your head filled with water? When your male god goes to capture Yao, what are you going for? What can you do, huh? Carry his bag for him? Tagging along behind him? You'll only be giving him more trouble, okay? With this appearance, you're only good for showing up uncalled for as a hostage for the Yaoguai to take. I'm just joking, Zhi Xiaoduo said. Are you going to take me as a disciple? Xiang Cheng rode his bike, not looking at Zhi Xiaoduo. Instead, he turned his head to look at the surface of the river. I'm not like them, I can't take disciples, Xiang Cheng said. My family passes their skills down from father to son and we don't let it spread outside of the family. As expected, when God closes a door for you, he'll use the door to squeeze your head. Zhi Xiaoduo asked doggedly, then if I follow you and there's danger, you can leave me at home. I promise, not to run about wildly, and I won't bring you more trouble, is that okay? If there's no danger, then I'll stand to one side to watch. I'll help you hold your bag and bring you towels and so on, and I can also buy you bottled water. I. I won't take pictures or record video, and I can also applaud and cheer you on, Zhi Xiaoduo said. The bicycle turned a corner and came to a stop by the side of the road. Xiang Cheng said, "Give me a moment, get off the bike." Zhi Xiaoduo. Xiang Cheng walked to the side of the river and lit a cigarette. He watched the waters of the river rush past, while Zhi Xiaoduo stood behind him. Zhi Xiaoduo stuffed his headphones in and he put on a song, David Tao's I Love You. I've forgotten how it started, but maybe it was when I had a certain feeling for you. After about 5 minutes of silence, Xiang Cheng walked towards Zhi Xiaoduo, pulled out one of the earbuds in his ear and said by his ear, "You can." Zhi Xiaoduo. Xiang Cheng slung his leg over the bike. "I love you." The stars exploded into existence and the sky collapsed and the earth sank in on itself, even as Zhi Xiaoduo continued to stand there dumbly. "I said, you can," Xiang Cheng said to Zhi Xiaoduo, before patting the front handlebars of the bike. "Get on, What's wrong? Did I say something wrong?" Xiang Cheng sat on the seat and Zhi Xiaoduo held Xiang Cheng's waist, his entire face bright red. He buried his face in his chest. "Say that you also love me, oh dash." The wind off the river blew and thousands of flowers were in bloom along the path. With a voila, they were blown off their branches. Pink ones, pale yellow ones, white ones, just like the celebratory fireworks exploding in Zhi Xiaoduo's heart, shaking the very world, as they flew with a boom to cover the sky and land. "What are you listening to?" Xiang Cheng continued to ride along. Zhi Xiaoduo gave him one earbud. The two of them rode the bike with the music, passing by the milk tea store, the ice cream store, the general store, and the stationery store along the way. This road was brightly lit by the sunlight and it was just like every other old but freshly grown long street that every Guangzhou person, from their childhood to the point that they went to school, would pass through after school let out for the day. The light and shadows over their heads suddenly changed. Summer had come. The shadows of the camphor trees landed on the windows of the third floor of the hospital, and Zhi Xiaoduo and Xiang Cheng walked in, carrying 2 fruit baskets. "You guys came." Kuang Desheng's head was wrapped in bandages, and only his eyes peeked out. "I." To his surprise, Zhi Xiaoduo discovered that Yang Xingjia was in the bed right next to him. Yang Xingjia glanced at Zhi Xiaoduo and he smiled. "Xiaoduo? I remember you. You. There was a cop in the room, keeping Yang Xingjia company, and the cop asked, "You two know each other?" "Ag, that's your friend." Yes, Zhi Xiaoduo said, standing there dumbly. "What is going on here?" Xiang Cheng made a shh gesture, indicating for him to listen. That day, Xingjia was patrolling, but when he passed by a construction site, a crane had fallen over under the storm, so he went to go sound the alarm, the cop said. The building on the site collapsed and it almost buried him inside. Zhi Xiaoduo. Hadn't Yang Xingjia died in the lightning? Zhi Xiaoduo watched him, as Yang Xingjia continued, "I'm all right." "Why have you come? Did Wang Ren tell you?" "We just so happened to come visit old Kuang," Xiang Cheng replied. Kuang Desheng's wife was sitting by his bedside, and she let out a heavy huff, rolling her eyes at Xiang Cheng. "Sorry," Xiang Cheng said. "It's a mission that the organization gave me." "What are you apologizing for?" Kuang Desheng said. "Don't say stupid things." Zhi Xiaoduo then asked Kuang Desheng, "Boss, what happened to you?" "I fell off while riding my electric moped." Kuang Desheng said. "My cerebellum is not coordinated, but I'm fine. As Xiang Cheng and Kuang Desheng spoke, Zhi Xiaoduo took a seat by the sickbed, oddly studying Yang Xingjia. Yang Xingjia asked, baffled, "What's wrong? Is there something on my face?" Zhi Xiaoduo hurried to wave his hand. "Do you still remember me?" I can't remember clearly, Yang Xingji said. I only remember that you're called Zhi Ziaduo and that we had tea before in Guangzhou. That's right, Zhi Ziaduo replied, smiling. Yang Xingji was a little confused, and he looked towards his colleague. Zhi Ziaduo said, probingly, Wang Ren told me last time. Oh, that's right. Yang Xingji said. Boss Wang is my friend, we met on a self-guided road trip before. Zhi Ziaduo nodded and his police colleague said, don't say too much, he has a concussion. Zhi Ziaduo hurried to acknowledge that, just as there was a knock from the outside. Chiwen had come and he greeted Zhi Ziaduo. Zhi Ziaduo spoke a few comforting words to Yang Xingji, telling him to rest and recover, as it was clear that Yang Xingji had already forgotten a large part of the events. Ziaduo. Chiwen waved at Zhi Ziaduo, so Zhi Ziaduo came out and stood in the hospital hallway. Not long after, Xiang Cheng also came out. What is going on here? The three of them began to chat in the hallway in a mysterious fashion. Chiwen said, that police is a normal person and during one of his patrols, he unwittingly ran into the Chiwen and was taken to be the vessel for the devil's soul. Now that the devil's soul has dissipated, he has come back to himself. Has his body recovered? Zhi Ziaduo asked. He sniffed the Lihan pollen, Chiwen explained. The organization brought him back, and only after some simple cleanup did they hand him over to the hospital. He was brought here with Brother Kuang and the higher-ups have already taken care of it. He shouldn't remember matters where he had to interact with you. Zhi Ziaduo let out a breath and he said, thank the heavens and earth, as long as he's alive then that's all right. Xiang Cheng asked, did you just came from Magnolia Alley? Chiwen glanced inside the room. He didn't respond directly to Xiang Cheng, instead addressing Zhi Ziaduo. Brother Kuang, on the other hand, arrived on time to protect you that day, so keep him company some more. Zhi Ziaduo eyed, while Xiang Cheng's forehead was furrowed, as if he was a little angry that Chiwen had said that. What should I do? Zhi Ziaduo asked. Is he seriously injured? Not heavily, Chiwen said. It's just that he was attacked during the storm and he fell, so giving him an apology should suffice. All right, Zhi Ziaduo said. I'll go right away. Zhi Ziaduo went in and Chiwen closed the door for them. Xiang Cheng and Chiwen stood across from each other, and Xiang Cheng said unhappily, when you put it like that, he will feel very guilty for a long time. He won't, Chiwen said, before pulling out a snuff box, holding it between his thumb and index fingers, dangling it in front of Xiang Cheng's face. Xiang Cheng grew silent but he didn't take it. Chiwen said, Director Lu handed this to me. This has to be handed over to you even though I know you're also in a very difficult position. I'll take a trip to the exorcism committee. Xiang Cheng tiredly let out a breath. That won't do, Chiwen said. Before I came, they were having a meeting. For situations like Zhi Ziaduo's, where he doesn't fulfill the conditions, there's no space even for discussion. If you go and get into an argument with the higher-ups, what purpose would that have? Unless you stop doing this line of work. But even if you say that, the organization won't let you two keep your memories of any past matters. Zhi Ziaduo sat in front of the hospital bed, saying guiltily to Kuang Desheng, sorry. It's okay. Kuang Desheng said. This has nothing to do with you at all, what are you reprimanding yourself for? And saying this, Kuang Desheng began to laugh loudly, ha ha ha, while his wife said, with an expression of helplessness, I don't blame you, you were also a victim. Then who was to blame? It was as if everyone had taken part in a completely random group fight and when the cops came, the thugs all scattered at once. The people who had been beaten up shuffled to their feet, tossing aside their wine cups and putting down their chopsticks, pulling out their swords only to stare around wildly in confusion, without even finding an opponent. Kuang Desheng said, if you have time, come to my shop often to eat. Of course, Zhi Ziaduo said. Every time I come, I'll order the most expensive dishes. The boss's wife was peeling an apple, and she shot Kuang Desheng a nasty glare. Outside, Chiwen came to knock and he bid farewell to Zhi Ziaduo then left. The one you should be thanking is Xiang Cheng, Kuang Desheng said to Zhi Ziaduo. He put in the most work, and was in the most danger. N. Zhi Ziaduo thought Xiang Cheng was really someone who put his life on the line, and he couldn't help but feel admiration towards him for that. Zhi Ziaduo, you come with me. After the boss's wife finished peeling the apple, she stuck it in his mouth and left the room to stand in the hallway. Zhi Ziaduo was uneasy. He felt that the boss's wife was definitely going to admonish him, but when he came to stand in the hallway, he saw that Xiang Cheng was slumped alone on the railings of the third floor of the hospital, watching the scenery outside. The boss's wife said, "Old Kuang getting injured was not caused by you." N. Zhi Ziaduo's nose burned. The boss's wife continued, "I also don't want him to work in this profession, but there's no choice. For this matter, you also put in a lot of effort, and if it wasn't for your help, it wouldn't have been resolved so quickly. Everyone could have been in mortal danger, so don't keep dwelling on this, okay?" Zhi Ziaduo smiled. The boss's wife gave Xiang Cheng a look and shook her head, saying, "I wish that everyone can spend their days healthily and happily. Mundanity is the best thing." Zhi Ziaduo smiled. "That's true." The boss's wife also smiled and she went back inside the room. Xiang Cheng had stood in the passageway facing the street for a while, and now he turned around. Zhi Ziaduo knew that they were about to leave, so he went in to bid goodbye to Kuang Desheng and Yang Xingjie. "I really think that for Yang Xingjie to still be alive is a very good thing," Zhi Ziaduo said sincerely. "How did you two meet?" Xiang Cheng asked. "A blind date," Zhi Ziaduo said. "A blind date?" Xiang Cheng asked, astounded. Zhi Ziaduo immediately changed his tune. "My bestie, that is, Kikai's little sister, met him when she went on a blind date." Xiang Cheng nodded and said, "He's probably forgotten it all." "Probably," Zhi Ziaduo said. "But as long as he can live well, that's good. I don't have any wild hopes for him." Zhi Ziaduo's mood was very good today, because Xiang Cheng had agreed to let him tag along. Xiang Cheng asked, "Where should we go to play?" "I'll take you out today." "Go to the office first," Zhi Ziaduo said. "We'll go play another day." But Xiang Cheng responded, "Go to the office another day, I've already asked for a day off for you. Let's go play ba, I haven't really toured Guangzhou yet." Zhi Ziaduo said, "I want to go back to quit my job first. This is really too great, I don't need to work anymore, I can start a new life now." Xiang Cheng. "Quit tomorrow," Xiang Cheng said. "Listen to me, you have to make this decision carefully." "I've long since decided," Zhi Ziaduo said. "It's not because of this. As long as I get my certificate, I don't want to go back to the design firm to work anyways. I can take some consulting work from home instead, that won't disrupt me. I just don't want to dully go to the office every day anymore." Xiang Cheng could only change directions and bring Zhi Ziaduo to quit his job. Zhi Ziaduo swept in like the wind as he rushed to his boss. "Ah," the big boss said. "I'm not doing this line of work anymore, Zhi Ziaduo. I want to pursue my new life and my new dreams." The big boss: "I know that you definitely want to hop jobs now that you've gotten your certificate. How about this, tell me, what conditions do you want? I'll go find the CEO and try to get them." Zhi Ziaduo was insistent. "No, I'm not job hopping. I just don't want to come to work for the time being. I want to rest at home, I'm too tired." With that, Zhi Ziaduo and the big boss sank into a tug of war between job hopping, increased salary, job hopping, reducing his workload, and in the end, the boss even told him that he didn't need to clock in every day, and if he didn't want to show up, then he didn't have to. Zhi Ziaduo was at the end of his rope, and he could only pull out his trump card. He laid down, stomach to the sky, and began to roll around on the floor. A whole hour passed just like that, and Zhi Ziaduo finally managed to convince his big boss that he really didn't want to do this any longer. Upon seeing that there was no way to keep Zhi Ziaduo, the big boss could only let it be. "How about this? I'll go discuss this with the CEO first," the big boss said. "Is your health a little better?" Zhi Ziaduo nodded. The big boss continued, "You still have to come into work tomorrow, because even if you're quitting, you still have to hand over your work. At that time, go have a chat with the CEO. Even if you don't want to work anymore, and you want to rest, everyone will still remain friends, isn't that right?" With that, Zhi Ziaduo managed to put down his heavy burden as he successfully quit his job and hopped away. The design firm was filled with people who came and went, and this was already a very common occurrence. Architects had a large workload, and often the firm didn't manage to keep its people, as long as someone passed their structural, construction, sewage, or similar test. If they didn't hop jobs, they would go open their own firm, or they would hang up their certificate and start a business with the help of their family connections. Each one ran away faster than the last. This year, there were not many people who had passed in Guangzhou, and Zhi Ziaduo was also the youngest one who had attended the exam. Even if the firm wanted to keep him, he wouldn't want to stay. Even without Xiang Cheng, Zhi Ziaduo had already promised Wang Ren that he would go with him to live the good life. Zhi Ziaduo returned to his office to clean up his stuff, and his co-workers' attitudes towards him immediately changed. They began to ask about his next job, but Zhi Ziaduo merely replied that he wanted to rest. One of the finance department members floated over with his hands in an orchid fingers pose and he said, "Aya, I hear that you're living together with a northerner, is that true?" "Yeah, someone from Chongqing," Zhi Ziaduo replied, smiling as he cleaned up his stuff. He didn't hide it, because many of his co-workers knew that he was gay anyway. "You can't marry a northerner, Chi Mai Mei," the finance guy said severely. "Southerners marry southerners, northerners marry northerners, there is a wide gap in ideologies. You have to be careful." "It's okay," Zhi Ziaduo said. "Many of my friends are southerners and northerners who paired up. Northerners are trustworthy and kind." To the side, a girl from Chongqing finally couldn't take it anymore, and she roared angrily, "How many times have I said it, Chongqing's not in the north, all right? I'm done with you Guangdong people, you're going to end anyone with OCD like that." Zhi Ziaduo immediately changed his tune. Yes, Sichuan isn't in the north." The Chongqing girl continued, "Chongqing isn't in Sichuan either. Chongqing is just Chongqing. And the men of our great Chongqing are all good husbands who know the 24 filial exemplars, all right? They can go up on stage or go into the kitchen, they can be the king of a fight and can carry your bags and keep you company, and when they go home, they always listen to their wife's words. Where else will you find such good ones, huh? I want to find one myself, but I haven't even found one yet." "Really?" Zhi Ziaduo had an expression like he had found a treasure, and he thought to himself, Xiang Cheng really did seem to be like this. "Of course," the Chongqing girl said. "If you don't want him, give him to me ba. As long as there are feelings that's fine, my requirements aren't high." Zhi Ziaduo, that's right, as long as there are feelings, there's no other requirements needed." Zhi Ziaduo said goodbye to his co-workers sincerely, but of course it was not a real goodbye. He carried a cardboard box out, so happy that he was like a husky that had been released from its leash, preparing to open the doors to a new world. When he was waiting for the elevator, Zhi Ziaduo had already begun to plan out what he would do every day after he quit his job. With the power of a weak chicken, the possibility of being taken as a hostage was a thorn in his heart. So that he would not be a burden on Xiang Cheng, he should at least learn a few skills ba. "Hey," Zhi Ziaduo said, giving his bestie a call. "I've quit my job." "Congratulations," his bestie said. She had just woken at noon. "As expected, you've quit. What are you doing next?" "Let's go learn Taekwondo," Ji Xiaoduo said. "I suddenly want to learn to fight. Lao Niang's a female warrior. I can even carry my jugs of water up 6 stairs as if my feet have wings," his bestie thundered from the other end. "And you want me to go learn Taekwondo? Are you still letting me find someone or not?" Ji Xiaoduo hurried to say, "You can find someone while you're learning Taekwondo. Maybe you'll find one of the Marshall brothers there to be a fresh-faced pretty boy to your liking, and then after twisting back and forth, through the touches of your bodies, like a dream, you can have." He had struck at his bestie's weak spot, and after she thought for a moment, she said, "Now this, I can consider." Ji Xiaoduo continued, "You can also keep wolves away, and have a workout at the same time." "How nice. Sign me up while you're at it, ba, I'll give you the money tomorrow." His bestie said, "Taekwondo's too barbaric, let's do judo, ba. The handsome guys who practice judo all have good waist strength." Ji Xiaoduo replied, "I'm fine with either, as long as I can fight." "That's settled, then, don't stand me up." "I know," his bestie said dully. Ji Xiaoduo hung up. Xiang Cheng had waited for 2 hours, and he was currently studying a recruitment ad for a restaurant downstairs. "You can be a chef," Ji Xiaoduo said. "Why don't you go?" Xiang Cheng replied, "I don't think I can cook for people I don't know. Only when I make food for important people to me can I bring out the best flavors within the ingredients. Are you done with your stuff?" Ji Xiaoduo was so happy that he couldn't distinguish left from right, and he replied, "It's all been dealt with, I can go play now, let's go." This afternoon, the two of them took a trip through the street food alley, then went to watch a movie. In Ji Xiaoduo's memories, he hadn't been this happy for a long time. It was as if he had returned to his childhood. All of these colors were simple and straightforward, and life was free of cares and regrets. "Are all of the men where you're from like this?" Xiaoduo asked Xiang Cheng when the movie started playing. "I don't know," Xiang Cheng said. "My dad's like this. He always listened to my mom." Ji Xiaoduo and Xiang Cheng's hands kept knocking together in the popcorn bucket. Xiang Cheng was wearing a pair of 3D glasses and his entire body was ill at ease. "This popcorn is so good, but it's expensive," Xiang Cheng said. "In my hometown, it's $1 for a huge bag." The movie began and Xiang Cheng was instantly so startled that he jumped up. The people around them laughed at that and Ji Xiaoduo hurried to tug Xiang Cheng down. Xiang Cheng said quietly, "Why is it like this?" "Shh, Ji Xiaoduo said. "You haven't watched any 3D ones before?" "I haven't," Xiang Cheng replied, his face filled with astonishment. The light of the movie shone on his face as he continued, "It's too amazing." Ji Xiaoduo replied quietly, "The technology is very interesting, let's watch first." The movie was a space sci-fi film, and Xiang Cheng had almost no way to understand its contents. He was completely lost from beginning to end, and from time to time, Ji Xiaoduo would explain things to him quietly. He was afraid of disturbing the people around him, so he would always press up against Xiang Cheng's ear to explain. Xiang Cheng moved his head closer too, so that his ear was pressed against Ji Xiaoduo's lips, and he would nod every now and then. The movie finished and after they came out, the skin from Xiang Cheng's left ear along the left side of his neck was red, all the way down to his shoulder. "Let's go buy some groceries, I'll make you some tasty food tonight," Xiang Cheng said. The two of them went to get groceries, then went home to make dinner. Ji Xiaoduo slumped on the sofa, informing his friends one by one of him quitting his job. Xiang Cheng was still asking about the events of the movie and he sighed that his own knowledge was far too little. He also drank a little beer. When Ji Xiaoduo went to shower, Xiang Cheng sat on the sofa, holding a glass snuff bottle, turning it over and over in his hand. His bestie had found a place for them to learn judo, and when Zhi Xiaoduo came out while on the phone, Xiang Cheng immediately put the snuff bottle away. Zhi Xiaoduo took a lap around the living room, before floating aimlessly onto the bed. Half an hour later, Xiang Cheng knocked on the door to the master bedroom and asked, "Xiaoduo?" Zhi Xiaoduo was a little tired, but he was currently going through his WeChat groups. He had just posted about him quitting his job in the group. "Are you going to shower?" Zhi Xiaoduo asked, sitting on the bed, wrapped in blankets. "I'll go right away," Xiang Cheng said. "Tired?" A little." What Zhi Xiaoduo actually wanted to ask was, "Are you going to sleep with me?" But he didn't dare to voice that. "If you're tired, then sleep ba." Xiang Cheng pulled his blankets over him. "What's wrong?" Zhi Xiaoduo asked. "You've been a little strange since you got home. Are you not in a good mood?" Xiang Cheng replied, "Nothing, I'm still thinking about what happened in the movie." Zhi Xiaoduo chuckled. "Some other day, I'll go buy a few Blu-ray DVDs. I'll go find a few of my favorite movies from before, and we'll make up for it all at once." "Sure," Xiang Cheng replied. When Zhi Xiaoduo was a student, he often watched movies on his own. When he sat in the empty theater, eating popcorn as he watched, he had always thought, how nice it would have been to have a boyfriend. "Good night." "Good night." Xiang Cheng turned off the light, and the room fell into darkness. Zhi Xiaoduo heard the sounds of Xiang Cheng showering. Though he was a little tired, he couldn't resist refreshing his Weibo feed again. After all, he had quit, and he was going to do the handover tomorrow. He didn't need to take on any more projects, so he could let his procrastination run as wild as he wished. Zhi Xiaoduo kept scrolling and scrolling, until outside, Xiang Cheng's steps stopped at the door to the master bedroom. Xiang Cheng opened the door and walked in. "Zhi Xiaoduo. What's up? You haven't slept?" Xiang Cheng's eyes had not yet adjusted to the darkness. Zhi Xiaoduo reached out to turn on the light, only to see that Xiang Cheng was wearing a sports jacket on his upper half, while he only had a pair of underwear on his lower half. His two hands were stuck in his jacket pockets. "Zhi Xiaoduo. What's in your pockets?" Zhi Xiaoduo asked. "My hands," Xiang Cheng replied. Zhi Xiaoduo tugged at his arms, and Xiang Cheng pulled out his hands for him to inspect. Zhi Xiaoduo then turned his pockets inside out as well, and there was nothing inside. End chapter.